Here comes the jesters. 1, 2, 3. It's all part of my fantasy. I love the music and I love to see the crowd dancing in the aisles and singing out loud. Yeah. Sing it. Here comes gold, oil, and silver, one by one. I'm checking the charts and I'm having fun with you today on this Thursday, December 14th, 20 and the 23. Back from the Sunshine State. Just a little trip down there. Oh my God, had an absolute blast. The most amazing thing happened. Before we get to the magic, the most amazing thing happened while we're down there. We're at Da Vinci's, one of our favorite restaurants in Marco Island. And Stacy made a post on Facebook showing our espresso martinis because Da Vinci's has the best espresso martinis in all of the land. You mean like the world? Yeah, like all of the land, the world. And I don't know, 10 minutes later, I get a text from one of my old high school buddies. He said, "How long are you going to be at Da Vinci's?" I knew it was up. I knew it was up because a few years ago I had turned Chuck and his wife Julie onto Marco Island. Just try it out. Just try it. Now, I think this is now their third trip. They happen to be there at the same time. So the following day, we basically hung out all day, morning, noon, and night, and just had an amazing, incredible time. Had dinner together at the Oyster Society, finished up at Touche's, which is a sports bar, walked the beach, just an unbelievable day with two of the greatest people on earth. And Chuck said something so sweet to me. And of course, we were a couple drinks in. But he said, when I saw Stacy's post that you guys were in Marco Island, he said it sent shivers up and down my spine. I'm like, are you exaggerating? He's like, no, because when I looked at that and I saw the picture of you guys with those martinis, I didn't think, oh, hey, there's one of my old buddies from high school. I thought, there's one of my brothers. I think of you as a brother. So it's like I'm getting choked up right now talking about it. But that's he's one of the sweetest guys in the world. Really good friends since sixth grade. And it was amazing to see them. Enough about that. Let's get to the charts. So, wild ride while I was gone. Oil, gold, and silver all continued to make my butt stink. But wait for it. Since yesterday, the tide has turned. Yes, it has. The tide has turned. So let's take a look at a few things here. One is hello. SPX, aka S&P 500, currently at 4730. Wow. So now this isn't necessarily what you want to hear, but this is just what these fancy charts tell me. Now, these numbers here, you may recognize them. If you do, you're pretty fancy. This is essentially the Fibonacci retracements that are built into most charts, most scanners. Like this is particular. I use TradingView on my left here on the Big Mac. I love TradingView a lot, but I also like bar chart. So this is bar chart. You can get a free account to either tradingview.com, barchart.com. Did I say Bart? Bar chart. And then see this little tool right here. This is a Fibonacci. You can do all types of things, but just a typical retracement or extension tool is all you need to just put up basic numbers. So what these basic numbers mean here on how you would look at the S&P 500 in this chart, I like to look at the SPX just because it trades more. I don't know. Is it consistently? I mean, it tracks it directly, but it's not always the same number, but real close. So if we look at this right now, we're like, hey, you know what? Let's go from that recent low. Okay, so I clicked here. I clicked on the tool, Fibonacci, aka Liberace, clicked on the recent local low, and then dragged it all the way up to where we're at now, which is a high, right? Then I did stretch it over a little just so we can see these percentages a little better. And then I changed mine. I always have mine on percentages. Otherwise, it's going to be decimals for you, which is either way, it's the same thing. But I like to see the percentages. So what we should see next, if this is a healthy continuation, so if we're going to go from where we're at to 4,800, maybe even break through 4,800, we need a healthy retracement. Okay, so what Fibonacci and Elliott wave theory states is that the next retracement should be minimum at the 23.6%, which would be the 4585 S&P 500 number, right? But then it should be anywhere through here. So minimum should be 23.6. They call the golden zone, however, this 38.2 all the way down to the 61.8 as far as a retracement. Will we go all the way down to 43, 45? Not if this thing is continuing the 4800. At least that's not what I see based on the movements it's had. But what it looks like it's had is it's really a stretched extension, which is like calling for a retracement. It doesn't mean it can't just hobble its way on up to 4800. But if it gets to 4800 without a healthy retracement, then we could be looking at a bigger, kind of a scarier retracement. So that's just, some of the thoughts on this voodoo black magic. So I do, most of the time I just shake up the magic 8-ball and ask it what the market is doing next. But in the meantime, I have been studying the Elliott wave theory, as you know, which then also goes hand in hand with Fibonacci, aka Liberace. So that's the thoughts right now on the S&P 500. Could it easily extend and stretch and be completely out of breath all the way up to 4,800? It could, but if it takes a more reasonable route, it would retrace to a minimum 23.6. So we'd be looking at that 45.85 and then below, which I wouldn't imagine it would go any lower than 4,400 at that retracement, which is already going to scare enough people. But we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that. Let's go to oil. USO. USO. Easy as 1, 2, 3. So now we're finally off the canvas, right? We were knocked out. We're back in business, should continue to be in business. But from here, I'm hoping we're looking at a 5-wave up. Now, the difference in S&P, the next move should be corrective, and ABC, a 3-wave. USO, I'm hoping that we've hit a 5-wave down, which then, typically you're going to have that corrective 3-wave move. But we had a little crazy meandering, if you recall. So I'm hoping we're on the beginning or on the cusp of a 5-wave up, but depending on what the movements make here will determine whether it is corrective or a 5-wave impulsive. So what should we see in the meantime? I believe we got to get up to, if we look at this 50% here, we need to break through that 73.44, okay? I believe that that's certainly possible before we even take another retracement. So when we do that, then we can put the Fibonacci tool back on there to see where that retracement should be on the next wave down, because we're looking at 1 wave up, 2 waves down, 3 waves up, which usually is the longest wave, 4 waves down, and then the 5th wave up, right? So that means there's opportunities. Even if you miss these first moves, there's still opportunities, because in the best scenario is it is proven to be, oh yeah, we're for sure on the way to a 5 impulsive up. So you've confirmed 1, you've started to turn down, you're getting to the bottom of the wave 2 down, typically around maybe 61.8%. Then you're like, okay, now what am I looking for? Well, now what I have been looking at is when the RSI and MACD show that it's beginning to curl up on what would also be considered a typical retracement percentage. So then you can catch that 3rd wave up and be like, hello. That's a lot of wacky talk. You see how excited I get about it. But oil looking like it's on its way up. Same with gold. Gold I missed it. It meandered on me, as you know. But now I'm back in business on gold. So we're looking for that to break through, pass up the 192.40. It could retrace in the meantime. It could retrace as soon as tomorrow, but then it will definitely break through that 192, according to what all the crystal ball is stating. Same with silver. So, you see silver's made a beautiful move here. Hello. And what we did on silver was I went from that recent low in October all the way up to the recent high, which was what date? That recent high was December 1st. And then I thought, okay, and then it's like, can we measure the retracement and see if it is playing along? And it is playing along perfectly. Because if you see from here, if we were to say, is this a 1? Is this a 1? And this was a extension of 1? That's what I'm hoping we're looking at. And then we retraced all the way down to like right at the 6180. Hello. And now it's making its move back up. If this is the 3, then just stay out of its way. And because the 3 is going up way up here off the chart, way up here, probably 2450, would be, if we reversed it and did an extension up, what would that be? It should be around 2450. That, and this is particularly or specifically SLV. And then on the gold, this was the GLD. We were also trading GDX, and then also individually, you remember, if you recall, I traded AA. I shouldn't say I traded it. I haven't even traded it. I just bought it. I bought it at like 25, and then it like went down to Chinatown on me, and then I bought some in Stacy's account, so she actually bought better than I did. But where are we now? We're making our way up, and I think we've meandered. And I'm thinking this is only going to be wave 1. So what we'll look for on Alcoa, which is ticker symbol AA, is how far will one ride, okay? And then once we see RSI and the MACD show us that it's going to curl down, then we'll put our tool on and see what should it go down to on a retracement to get us to believe that we're on our way to a retrace of 2 and then a bigger 3, like woohoo, for Cocoa Puffs, like up here. So that's what we'll be looking for on Alcoa. Remember those commercials back in the day? Alcoa can't wait. I don't know if that's what they said, but I remember Alcoa commercials when I was a kid. Anywho, so now all of that said, already 11 and a half minutes in, brace yourself, buckle up, hold on tight, because I'm about to show you what we're at on the portfolio. Now, remember, I took some big risks with oil, gold, and silver recently while they were going down. And so right now, oh my God, in fact, all-time high, like by far, 1.858. Hello. Up 38,000 a day, and we were up over 20,000 yesterday. As I was sitting at Doc's Beach House, that's what it's called. I'm so excited. I don't remember. One of our old stomping grounds when we had the condo in Bonita Springs, Florida, on the beach there in the Gulf of Mexico, Doc's Beach House, which was nearly destroyed last year in the hurricane. They just opened up on December 1st. So on our way meandering back to the airport yesterday, we made 3 stops. We stopped at the Navy. We stopped at Naples Pier, which they still have not repaired from last year's hurricane. Had a nice, beautiful long walk on the beach, then over to Doc's Beach House, and just was great to see that they're back open and beautiful. And then we stopped at our favorite chain Chinese restaurant. Drum roll, please. P.F. Chang's. Then meandered our way to the airport and had a nice trip back home. So here we are, and we're at an all-time high. Hello. Which gets me very giddy. Can it change tomorrow? Absolutely. But right now, I think we're on the right side of these movements. Expiring tomorrow, we have a handful of positions. ACLS, Excelius, that's doing just fine. Well, if it's up tomorrow, which it probably will be unless we begin that pullback, then we'll roll that thing out. ACQ is at 9, or AGQ. This is the 2 times silver. So it should be losing ground, but it was downtown to Chinatown enough that we're at the 99.17 on those calls. In fact, we probably should just close them right now for a penny. Which, how many do we have? We only have 3 contracts. We own, I think, 1,000 shares now. Yeah, we own 1,000 shares. So, like, for instance, and we're still down. Yeah, we're still down the Chinatown on them. But like, let me show you some volatility on this. So say we were trading 10 calls on the A, G, and the Q, and went out 36 days to January 19th, and we went up to, we could be big profiting at 32, right? $32 a share. 10 of those calls would be $700. Don't mess around with these 2 times and 3 times leveraged unless you are crazy like me. But I may close that if silver keeps running, because again, the next move in silver and gold should be corrective. Let it run. Next move will be corrective, and then it'll run some more. So that's what the crystal ball states. BTI British tobacco, that is, where are they at right now? That's got to be close to 33, maybe higher. Wrong. $30. So a penny right now. We could roll those today. I'll have to look through. Let me look at my little note card up here. Oh, BTI. What's the date today again? 14th. So in a week, we'll have ex-dividend date on BTI. So we may let that run if it continues to run a little bit more before we sell calls so we can protect that big dividend. Clean Spark, $5 puts. These used to be like way down in their whiskey, and now it's like Clean Spark's at like $1 bazillion. It's at $10.93, up today 6.5%. So good morning, good night on those. We'll let those go out at full profit. I'm going to run the numbers on Cummings. We got in at 220 on Cummings, and it's at like 240 now. So we should have just bought it and held it, but we went to 246. Good morning, good night, and hello. So I'll run the numbers and decide. I may just take my 22,000 back because I've made nice money on dividends and premium. We sold puts to get in. We sold, and then it actually went down much lower than what we were assigned at, the 220. But we did collect put premium and collected call premium a couple of times along with a dividend. So I'll run the numbers just to see where we're at. We may take our 22,000 back because unlike the feelings we get when the market is running in our favor, we think it's going to run forever. I don't feel that way. I do not feel that way. I think we're in a fifth wave extension on the S&P 500. So we'll see. We'll see from there. So Cummings, Enovix, I'm going to have to roll that out. I'd like to hold on to those shares. I'm in the green. I don't have that many, 500 shares. But it's at almost $14 now. GLD, this thing was really down in the whiskey just a couple of days ago, and now it's already at 90% profit on that 187.50 put. Hilton, or is that Hyatt? I think it's Hyatt. I stayed at the Hilton on Marco Island. We bought those at 111, I think, and so we're up 4, but it's trading at like 120 something. But we might just take, look for a little risk off on Hyatt. We've already collected the dividend. So we would have our premium would be the money tree trade. Not that they don't pay a great deal of percentage on the dividend and the dividend yield. What's the screen doing over here? It turned gray. I've never seen that before. So we may just close out the money tree trade there and put a couple more bucks, cash back in the coffers, a little dry powder. L3 Harris is on a nice run. We're going to roll those out and up because they have a dividend. When is their next dividend? I should have it on the board. You're getting long in the tooth in this video, just babbling away. Well, I haven't seen you. For so long. What was I checking out earlier? Cummings. Yep. Look at that. Trading at 246. Hello. L3 Harris. When is the next ex-dividend on that? Let's go to the scorecard. But look what they're doing. 208. Another position that I should have just taken and then let it get into my favor before I started selling calls. But I used to just do this. Whatever I'd get in, assigned or otherwise, I would just immediately start selling calls, whether it was big red down day or not. So that would put them, is that going to be early February then? Let's look at their history. But I wouldn't mind, collecting another $114 and they'll probably raise it. When will they declare? I do declare. So if we look at the dividend history on Seeking Alpha, they're not going to be until March. So the history states that if you look at these, that's record date. Here's ex-dividend dates. So the last few years have all been the same: March, June, September, November. So that right there, though, it shows this is a little play that I like, which is, you see, these are only just over 2 months apart. So say you really liked L3 Harris, and it's just kind of whatever, meandering sideways, and you're like, I want to do a little money tree trade on here. Can I possibly capture 2 dividends in a short period of time? And you can in these scenarios where you would get in right under that ex-dividend date of September 8th, or let's look at this year, September 1st, and then you would hold that thing, selling some calls out past your next capture of your ex dividend. You'd collect these 2 dividend plus your put premium to get in and your call premium. And then also if you wanted a little share appreciation and it was going in your favor, that'd be the money tree trade. So I don't know. We'll take a look. I'll run all the numbers on these because I wouldn't mind putting a little dry powder back in the coffers. What else we got? PBF, they're up today, like what, 4%, 4.38%, but still nowhere near my calls. Good to go there. So hopefully they'll keep running tomorrow, and then I'll roll your barrel because I have like another position to add to that as well. Smuckers is actually making a run on things so we'll roll that out and up, ensure the next dividend and add some share appreciation to that. Teladoc, whoa, what's it at? Showing we're way down in our whiskey. Wow, 21.50, up 7% today. So we're going to roll that out and up. We'll let it play out probably tomorrow morning, unless it really keeps riding. We have to protect it today. We will. And then the Twilio put is at 93% profit. Another one that we probably should just have bought when we were talking about it, because it was at like 70 when I sold the $65 puts, and it's currently trading at 75.63. Hello. But the chart on it was looking amazing. USO, these were just like, I was already counting those puts as like, hey, I could take those at 65 and then I'll just start making bank selling calls when they turn, but they've already turned. So now USO currently trading at the moment 67.68. So unless something crazy unforeseen happens, then those will expire at full profit. Verizon, though, I got to run some more numbers here because we're way down on our whiskey on the Verizon calls. I probably will want to collect the next round of dividends, which should be next month, ex-dividend date on the VZ. Yeah? So it doesn't matter to me how far I'd have to roll those out to get some more share appreciation and then also lock in that next dividend. So yeah, ex-dividend date is January 9th, so we're under 1 month for that. So we'll roll those out and up. And we may have to roll them out a few months in order to just to protect them, add that share appreciation, and then lock in that next dividend, which is going to be what, 66.665 on the FM dial. And what is that, 1,400 shares? 1,400 times 0.665. Yeah, I'll take that. Roll it out, even if I don't have any credit on rolling out and up. That's fine. Lock down the dividend and then go from there on the next dividend. So that's what we got going on right here. And right now, glad to be back with you, my new best friend in stocks, options, and dividends. But no rest for the weary. Old lady hosts a lot. Lady hostess. We have a little party tomorrow at the house. Come on, I need a break. I'm an introvert. So there'll be 10 of us, 5 couples, having a good time, little holiday gathering. Play a little left, right, center. I don't know if you've ever played that before. And a card game called Screw Your Neighbor. You know, those are simple games to play in a group. And what we like to do is use lottery tickets. So everybody will bring 6 lottery tickets per person, and then we use them like on left, right, center. We each start with 3 lottery tickets, and then if you've played it, you know that the black dot is what you want. If you get a left, you pass a lottery ticket to the person on your left. If you get an R, you pass one to the right. If you get a center, a C, you put it in the center. And then you just keep playing until everything's in the center and you have a final victor. And then on the Screw Your Neighbor, you are looking for the highest. You don't want to be stuck with the lowest card per round. So you'll check out your card and then it just goes in a circle from the dealer and you can pass your card to the person next to you or keep it. And you do not want to be stuck with the lowest card. If you are, then you put your ticket in the middle. And then we just play that and talk and laugh until somebody takes that pot as well. So enough about that. Like, subscribe, comment, share with a lovable friend, and I'll indeed see you in the next video.